Hello, I'm Zach. How you doing? I'm doing good. I am out driving around getting a few errands done before I head back home to my brand new baby boy to provide my wife with backup. 4 kids, all under 6. So good stuff, great stuff, wonderful blessings. I'm pausing this video right now just to let you know that because this is a longer video, I have Eden's Fall out right now. The next book in the series is coming out very soon. Look for it. When you see social media posts, share it. But the other thing I really wanted to talk about is that late this year, early next year, I have been working on 2 non-action thriller stories. They're both, I guess I would consider neo-Gothic Southern writing. They are more family drama, tragedy stories, and I think they're pretty good. They're entertaining, and so you need to look for those. Now, back to the rest of the video. I wanted to take some time to talk about some of my writing stuff, Eden's Fall, some of the upcoming projects I have going on. First of all, I want to say thank you to every single person who bought Eden's Fall. Every family friend, every random person who I've never met. Listen, I'll be quite transparent. It's not like it sold hundreds of books, but it definitely sold more than I ever thought a self-published book with very minimal advertising would sell. So thank you for that. The other thing about that, though, is that many people bought the book. Again, thank you. But not many people have provided any feedback to me, which I'm partially thankful for, because I don't know if any person naturally takes criticism in a healthy way in the first split second you receive it. But I do need criticism so that I can get better. I need to get better. I need to know what worked, what didn't work. Now, I will take your criticism with a grain of salt, because maybe you're not an action thriller sci-fi fan, and so you read the book and some stuff is not clicking with you. That's okay. And you can tell me that it didn't click with you, and that's fine. But if there's some other more technical things that you think I need to know about, let me know. I'm not going to be angry at you or disappointed. There's a lot of family friends who bought the book who I'm fairly certain their go-to genre in reading is not action sci-fi thriller. And I'm sure they read it or read a few chapters and like, this is not for me, and that's okay. They were just being supportive. But I do want your feedback. If you read the book, do not be afraid to reach out and tell me what you liked and maybe what you didn't like. I want to know. I need to know, because I've got other books planned. I've got other books in draft right now, and I just need to improve my craft, and the only way to do that is to get constructive criticism. So please, please give me feedback. Now, about those other books, I have essentially the second draft of the second series in the Eden Fall series book ready to go. I need to go over it 2 or 3 more times. I've got to design the book cover, but very soon I will have done those things, God willing, and you know, once I get a better schedule going with a brand new baby, I'll have what little free time I do have at nights and early in the morning will be freed back up for me to focus on that, and I'll have that out soon. Let me tell you, the second book, which doesn't have a name yet, but I've got some things going around in my head right now. If I'm honest, it is a better book than Eden's Fall. Matter of fact, both, and I'll talk about this again in another video, but both Eden's Fall and this book, and all the books I have planned for this series, I've got several outlines written for several more books. They all stem from short stories I wrote many years ago, some of them, as many as 6 years ago, some of these short stories, and they turned into what is Eden's Fall, what is this second book that's coming out, and what is some of the other books that I have planned. Matter of fact, the very first part, the prologue of Eden's Fall, was originally just a short writing exercise that I wrote back in 2015 or 16. And so, and a lot of these come from that. I don't know where I was going with that point, other than to say that the new book is coming. If you want to help me, when I start sharing social media things about the book, share it. Share the social media things for me. I don't expect you to buy the book, but if you want to throw me a bone, you can just share it with your group of people. Your sphere of influence is different than mine, and maybe someone will get it. I guarantee you that if you even partially enjoyed the first book, the second one is better. Absolutely is better. Now, 2 more things that I'm close to finalizing within potentially the end of this year, maybe early next year. I've got a novella, essentially. It might turn into a novel, but it's a novella. It's the 3rd draft of this thing I've been working on. It's a historical fiction called How Things Were, or as my wife will tell you, the first time I printed out a draft for her to read, I completely misspelled the title to How Thing. I can't even say it with a straight face. How Thing Where is how I typed out the title How Things Were the first time. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. It is different. It's historical fiction. It is drama / tragedy. I've very much enjoyed writing it, and I enjoyed writing it partially because much of the inspiration, and I say inspiration purposely because it's not directly pulled from a particular source, but it is directly inspired by many of the stories that my grandmother, Meemaw, or some of you might know her as Margaret, have told me over the years about her family, other families back in the day, and inspired by a few other people who I just sat down and listened to over the years to tell me about how things were back in the day. And I just took direct inspiration from some of those stories and made something from it. And I really like it. I really enjoy it. It's different than the sci-fi thriller stuff that I do. I also have another book that is been a work in progress for quite some time, called Blood on the Mountain, and it is also not sci-fi or drama. It is a touch Southern Gothic / just thriller family drama. I hate strict genres. Things blend. So that's what it is, and it is almost done. It is 95% finished in the writing. I like to think that I have 1.5 of a first draft finished, because I wrote the script. So this is based on a script I wrote, and I've entered in a couple times to some competitions. Was even a semi-finalist one time in the competition, and I wrote this script, and I think it's a fine script, but I thought, the richness of this story can be drawn out if I make this into a larger story, a novel. And so I did, and I really enjoyed this book. It's about essentially 2 families growing up, living their lives. There's some conflict between them, and that's all I'll say about it. And it has been very, very fun to write, again, because it's different than some of my sci-fi thriller action stuff, though it does have some action in it. Anyway, so that's I almost have every part written that I want to write, and then from there I need to take a couple of months, maybe even a year, and refine it and get it to where I want it to be. But so that's where we are. I've got Eden's Fall out there, and I hope that if you haven't read it yet, pick it up, read it, give me some feedback on that, and be looking for the next book in the series to come out soonish. I had aimed for having it out at the end of October, but now I've got this baby, so we will see. Nothing set in stone, which is fine because I'm self-published, and I can do whatever I want to do, which is great and also scary at the same time. So I've got Eden's Fall out. Please pick it up. Help me out. I've got the next book in the series. It will be out relatively soon, and then I have another book in that series, not necessarily the trilogy, but at least in that series planned, a shorter story for that plan. And then I've got How Things Were, and I've got Blood on the Mountain coming out either very late this year or sometime next year. Anyways, I just wanted to give an update for anyone who might be interested. I don't expect anyone will have listened to this all the way through. So there you go.